An angel encounter. A woman driving on a dark, icy road suddenly hears a calming voice urging her to slow down. Moments later, she narrowly avoids a pile-up accident. She believes the voice was her guardian angel. A ghost sighting. In Savannah, Georgia, a city famous for its haunted history, a family visiting a historic inn reportedly saw a transparent figure of a woman in Victorian clothing standing at the foot of their bed. A spirit connection. A man grieving his late mother dreams of her smiling and handing him a book. The next day, while sorting through her belongings, he finds an old diary she had written, offering him comfort and closure. When we delve into the realm of the supernatural, three terms often arise: angels, ghosts, and spirits. Although these terms are sometimes used interchangeably, they refer to distinct entities with unique roles, origins, and characteristics in various cultural, religious, and spiritual contexts. Today, we'll explore the fundamental differences between angels, ghosts, and spirits, shedding light on their definitions, roles, and significance in human belief systems, to be followed by some amazing personal experiences. Angels are celestial beings typically believed to be created by a divine power to serve as messengers, protectors, and intermediaries between the divine and humanity. They are often associated with religious traditions such as Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Angels have never been human and exist in a realm beyond earthly constraints, often depicted as radiant and holy beings with supernatural abilities and as having a radiant or holy appearance, sometimes with wings, symbolizing their role as divine messengers. Their primary purpose is to carry out divine will, whether by delivering messages, guiding individuals, or waging spiritual battles against evil. Angels are traditionally viewed as benevolent, powerful, and immortal. Angels are not bound by physical form and can transcend time and space. Some historical and scriptural examples. Archangel Michael. One of the most well-known angels, he is a warrior angel mentioned in the Bible, Revelation 12:7, as leading the battle against Satan. His role as a protector is emphasized in Christian and Jewish traditions. Archangel Gabriel is known as the messenger angel in Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. Gabriel appeared to Mary in the New Testament and revealed the Quran to Prophet Muhammad in Islam. Two other major archangels are Oriel, who is the angel of nature, and Raphael, the angel of healing and medicine. Then we have the chief or prince of all the archangels, Metatron, known as God's spokesperson and scribe. Now let's talk about guardian angels. Many individuals claim to have felt a protective presence during times of extreme danger. For example, a person surviving a car crash might describe an unseen force steering them to safety. As well, people often report angelic encounters during near-death experiences, NDEs. For example, someone who is clinically dead might describe being guided by a glowing figure toward a warm light, who they claim is without doubt an angel. We'll go into more detail about these kinds of experiences later in this video, but here are a few examples of personal experiences of angel encounters. An unseen protector. A man stranded in a snowstorm prayed for help. He suddenly felt warmth and saw a figure in white leading him to safety. When he turned to thank the figure, it was gone. Guardian angel intervention. A woman was about to cross a busy street when she felt a sudden pull backward, narrowly avoiding a speeding car. She was alone but strongly felt the presence of a protective force, an angel in disguise. A family involved in a serious car accident described being helped by a kind man who appeared out of nowhere, calmed them, and directed traffic until emergency services arrived. Strangely, no one else on the scene saw this man, and he disappeared without a trace. I actually wrote a book a few years ago entitled Angels Abound, 111 True Stories of Angel and Spirit. Encounters with personal accounts sent to me by my readers, and I will be working on putting these amazing and heartwarming experiences into video format very soon. Earth Angels. These are what I perceive as angels in human form, and they tend to appear to people in need at just the right time to lend assistance. I myself have encountered many, including a most special and kindly monk who came to our rescue late one night while traveling as tourists in southern Germany many years ago. An encounter with an earth angel is unforgettable and life-changing, and many times an amazing example of divine synchronicity. Angels' roles and functions. Messengers, delivering divine messages, for example, Gabriel announcing the birth of Jesus. Protectors. Guardian angels are believed to protect individuals or groups. Warriors. Some angels, such as Michael, are portrayed as warriors battling evil forces. Guides, assisting souls during transitions, such as from life to the afterlife. Angels inspire awe and hope, embodying purity and divine will. They are symbols of protection and divine love in art, literature, and religious texts. Ghosts are thought to be the souls or residual energy of deceased humans who remain bound to the earthly realm and who have not fully transitioned to the afterlife. The concept of ghosts is universal, appearing in nearly every culture throughout history. They are often associated with specific locations, objects, or unfinished business, such as unresolved emotions or uncompleted tasks. Unlike angels, ghosts are tied to the human experience and often manifest in ways that reflect their former lives, appearing as apparitions, causing disturbances, or interacting with the living. Their presence is usually seen as a sign of lingering attachment to the physical world. Ghosts are typically bound to earthly realms, often tied to specific locations, objects, or events. They may manifest in various ways, such as apparitions, sounds, scents, or temperature changes. Unlike angels, ghosts are often portrayed as having unfinished business or unresolved emotions, such as fear, regret, or anger. In Japan, for example, the yurei are believed to appear wearing white burial kimonos, symbolizing unresolved emotions and unfinished business. Another common example is someone feeling a sudden cold spot in a room, hearing unexplained footsteps, or seeing a shadowy figure in their peripheral vision. Paranormal investigators often capture electronic voice phenomena, or EVPs, where ghostly voices are recorded in empty rooms. Be sure to check out some of the paranormal videos on my channel. My favorite captures are EVPs, and I also have a great video about apports, which are gifts from ghosts and spirits. The three main types of ghosts are: 1. Intelligent hauntings, ghosts that interact with the living, seemingly aware of their surroundings. 2. Residual hauntings, ghostly phenomena that repeat actions like a recording, with no awareness of the present. And 3. Poltergeists, associated with physical disturbances, such as moving objects or loud noises. Here are some reported personal experiences. First, a childhood encounter. A child playing alone in their room described talking to an elderly woman they called Mrs. Thompson. The parents later discovered that a previous resident of their house, an elderly widow named Mrs. Thompson, had passed away in the home years earlier. Next, a hotel haunting. A business traveler staying at a historic hotel reported being woken by the sound of footsteps pacing in their room and a faint knock at the window, despite being on the top floor. When they investigated, no one was there. And finally, a family visit. After her grandfather's death, a woman saw him sitting in his favorite chair late one night. He smiled at her, then vanished. She believes he came to say goodbye. We'll look at some famous historical accounts later in the video, including the Tower of London. This historical site is said to be haunted by the ghost of Anne Boleyn, who was executed there. Visitors have reported seeing her apparition near the site of her execution. Also, the Amityville Horror, the infamous haunting in Amityville, New York, involved a family fleeing their home after claiming to experience ghostly apparitions and poltergeist activity. Ghosts often evoke fear, curiosity, or reverence. In some cultures, ghosts are honored through rituals to help them find peace, such as Mexico's Dia de los Muertos or the Chinese Ghost Festival. Now, let's talk about spirits. Spirits are a broader category encompassing various non-physical entities, including those of deceased humans, nature spirits, or divine beings. Spirits can be the term used for the essence or energy of any being, whether human, natural, or divine. Unlike ghosts, spirits are not necessarily tied to human death and can include nature spirits, ancestral spirits, or even divine forces. They exist in many forms across cultures and are often considered guides, protectors, or manifestations of natural or cosmic energy. Spirits may transcend human existence entirely, acting as connectors between the physical and spiritual realms, and their intentions can range from benevolent to neutral or malevolent, depending on their nature. Spirits' characteristics. Spirits are not bound to a physical form and can transcend time, space, and dimensions. The term spirit is often used to describe higher or divine entities, for example, the Holy Spirit in Christianity, or even elemental forces like fairies, nymphs, gnomes, sylphs, divas, and many more. The roles and functions of spirits include spiritual guidance. Spirits often serve as guides or protectors for the living, offering wisdom and support. Connection to the natural world is another significant role. Many indigenous cultures revere spirits of animals, plants, and the elements, believing they maintain balance in the natural world. Communication is also a key function. Spirits may communicate with the living through dreams, visions, or mediums. Cultural examples of honoring spirits include shamanism. In many indigenous traditions, shamans communicate with spirits to heal the sick or gain wisdom. For example, in Native American cultures, animal spirits such as the wolf or eagle are revered as guides and protectors. In Hinduism, spirits are believed to influence karma and the cycle of reincarnation. Offerings are often made to spirits of ancestors during festivals like Pitru Paksha. Nature spirits in animism are also celebrated. In Japanese Shintoism, spirits known as kami inhabit everything from mountains to rivers. The forest spirits in Hayao Miyazaki's Princess Mononoke reflect this belief. Common personal experiences include people describing the feeling of the presence of a loved one who has passed away, offering comfort or guidance during difficult times. Also, dreams where spirits deliver messages are common in many cultures and are often interpreted as spiritual connections. Here are some reported spirit encounters. 1. Dream message. A grieving son dreamt of his deceased mother telling him to look in the attic for an envelope. When he checked, he found an old letter from her with heartfelt words that brought him peace. 2. Nature spirit presence. Hikers in a remote forest described feeling watched and sensing an overwhelming feeling of peace, as if the trees themselves were alive and comforting them. They later learned the forest was considered sacred by local indigenous people. 3. Guiding light. A fisherman lost at sea claimed to see a glowing orb that guided him toward the shore. He later attributed this to the spirit of his late father, who had been a sailor. Spirits are central to animistic and shamanistic traditions, where they are considered part of the natural and supernatural fabric of the world. To recap, spirits, unlike ghosts, are not necessarily tied to human death or tragedy, although they can appear in ghostly form. Angels embody the divine will, providing guidance and protection from a higher realm. Ghosts are tied to the human experience, representing unresolved emotions or connections to the physical world. Spirits encompass a wide range of entities, from the souls of the departed to elemental forces that connect the natural and supernatural worlds. Understanding these distinctions enriches our perception of the supernatural and offers insight into how cultures interpret life, death, and the mysteries beyond. Now let's delve into some amazing and mysterious events and experiences with angels, ghosts, and spirits. Here are 5 short stories of true angel encounters, as reported by individuals. 1. The Highway Rescue. Driving late at night on a deserted highway, Karen's car broke down in the middle of nowhere. As she worried about what to do, a man appeared seemingly out of nowhere. He offered help, fixed her car, and reassured her she would be fine. When she turned to thank him after retrieving something from her trunk, he had vanished. Weeks later, she learned there were no homes or nearby exits for miles, and to this day, she believes he was an angel. 2. The mysterious medic. During a severe car accident, a critically injured woman named Emily felt a calming presence beside her. A man dressed like a paramedic assured her she would survive, held her hand, and prayed with her. When official rescue teams arrived minutes later, they were confused. No one matching his description had been there. Emily credits this figure for her survival and believes he was an angel sent to comfort her in her darkest moment. 3. The unexpected guardian. Mark was hiking alone when he slipped and fell, becoming stuck on a narrow ledge. Terrified, he prayed for help. Out of nowhere, a man in a white shirt appeared, extended a rope, and helped him to safety. Mark turned to express his gratitude, but the man was gone. Rangers later confirmed no one else had been reported in the area that day. Mark remains convinced it was a divine intervention. 4. The healing touch. Sarah, battling a severe illness, was lying in the hospital when she felt an overwhelming sense of warmth and light surrounding her. A soft voice whispered, "You will be healed." The next day, doctors were baffled when her test results came back clear, showing no signs of the disease. Sarah firmly believes an angel visited her that night to restore her health. 5. The coincidental call. A young mother, Lisa, was distraught and on the verge of giving up. She prayed for a sign, and moments later, her phone rang. The caller introduced themselves as Michael and offered words of encouragement, saying everything would be okay. When Lisa tried to call back to thank him, she discovered the number was disconnected. She believes this mysterious Michael was her guardian angel reaching out. Now grab a blanket or teddy bear, because here are some famous haunting stories that span different parts of the world and highlight the variety of ghostly phenomena reported over time. They are easily researched online. 1. The Amityville Horror, Amityville, New York, USA. The Amityville haunting began in 1974 after the Lutz family moved into a house where 6 members of the DeFeo family had been murdered by their son, Ronald DeFeo Jr. Reported phenomena. The Lutz family claimed they experienced terrifying events, including foul odors, slime oozing from walls, cold spots, doors slamming shut, and disembodied voices. George Lutz reported waking up at 3:15 a.m. every night, the same time as the murders. Outcome: the family fled the home after just 28 days. Their story inspired books and movies, sparking debates about whether it was a genuine haunting or a hoax. 2. The Tower of London, London, England. As a site of executions and imprisonment for centuries, the Tower of London is one of the most haunted places in England. Famous ghosts. Anne Boleyn, executed by her husband, King Henry VIII. Anne's ghost is said to walk the corridors carrying her severed head. The princes in the tower, the ghosts of 2 young princes, believed to have been murdered by their uncle Richard III, are often reported as shadowy figures. Other phenomena, visitors and guards have reported strange lights, footsteps, and chilling sensations, especially near the Bloody Tower. 3. The Winchester Mystery House, San Jose, California, USA. Sarah Winchester, the widow of firearm magnate William Winchester, built this sprawling mansion after being told by a medium that she was haunted by the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles. Visitors and staff report hearing whispers, footsteps, and door handles turning by themselves. Some have seen apparitions in Victorian clothing. The mansion has bizarre architectural features, like staircases that lead to nowhere and doors that open into walls, supposedly designed to confuse spirits. 4. The Myrtles Plantation, St. Francisville, Louisiana, USA. Known as one of the most haunted houses in America, the Myrtles Plantation is rumored to be home to at least 12 spirits. One famous ghost is Chloe, a slave who was allegedly executed after poisoning the family's children, and is said to appear wearing a green turban. Guests and staff report hearing children's laughter, seeing ghostly figures in mirrors, and objects moving on their own. A famous photo taken at the plantation purportedly shows Chloe standing near a building. 5. The Château de Brissac, Brissac, Quince, France. Known as the Haunted Castle of France, the Château de Brissac is home to the ghost of the Green Lady. The legend, The Green Lady is believed to be Charlotte de Brézé, who was murdered by her husband after he discovered her affair. Reported phenomena guests and residents report seeing her wandering the castle wearing a green dress, her face a grotesque skeletal appearance. Her moans are often heard in the early hours of the morning. 6. The Aokigahara Forest, Japan, known as the Suicide Forest. Aokigahara is infamous for the many suicides that have occurred there, leading to legends of haunting. Visitors have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, hearing whispers or screams, and seeing shadowy figures moving between the trees. In Japanese folklore, spirits who die with unresolved emotions or by violent means can become restless ghosts. 7. The Banff Springs Hotel, Alberta, Canada. This majestic luxury hotel, often called the Castle in the Rockies, has a history of ghostly activity. Built in 1888 and rebuilt in 1926 after a devastating fire, there is a long history of very strange happenings here. I've personally been fortunate enough to do a paranormal investigation and presentation at this world-famous iconic hotel, and I definitely experienced ghostly activity, including bedside lights turning off and on of their own accord. Famous ghosts. The Bride. A young woman who died on her wedding day in the 1920s after falling down a staircase is said to appear in her wedding gown, sometimes seen dancing in the ballroom. Sam the Bellman. A friendly ghost of a former bellman who died in the 1970s, Sam reportedly helps guests with their luggage before disappearing. There is also a ghostly bartender and a headless musician who plays bagpipes on the property. Other phenomena guests report cold spots, phantom footsteps, and unexplained noises. Room 873 in particular is a center of attention due to a tragic incident where an entire family was murdered. There are many stories about very strange happenings associated with this room, and guests have reported being woken by screams and finding bloody handprints on the walls. I caught an apparition on a photograph myself, although it was unclear who it might have been. 8. Edinburgh Castle, Edinburgh, Scotland. With a history of battles, torture, and executions, Edinburgh Castle is considered one of Scotland's most haunted locations. Its famous ghosts include the Piper. A piper sent to explore underground tunnels disappeared, and his ghost is said to be heard playing his bagpipes. The Headless Drummer. Seen during times of war or crisis, this ghost is an omen of doom. Ghostly happenings. Visitors report hearing screams, feeling cold breezes, and seeing shadowy figures, especially in the dungeons. 9. The Ghosts of Gettysburg, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, USA. The site of the deadliest battle of the American Civil War, Gettysburg is home to countless ghost stories. Witnesses describe seeing soldiers in Civil War uniforms walking through fields or disappearing into thin air. Others hear cannon fire, gunshots, and shouts late at night. The Devil's Den, a boulder-strewn area where many soldiers died, is a hotspot for ghost sightings. 10. The Ancient Ram Inn, Gloucestershire, England. Built in 1145, the ancient Ram Inn is notorious for its dark history, including rumors of witchcraft, murders, and pagan rituals. Guests and investigators report extreme cold spots, disembodied screams, and even physical contact like pushing or scratching. A famous ghost resident is a young girl, believed to have been sacrificed, who is often seen crying in the building's attic. Have you ever visited any of these locations or experienced something similar to these encounters? Angelic help? Spirit encounters? Hauntings? I'd love if you would share your own experiences in the comments. We live in a wondrous, mysterious world,